Naked Firefly. Welcome to my channel, Mindful Writing with the Rebel Writer. Today I wanted to do the BookTube Newbie Tag. The BookTube Newbie Tag, considering the fact that I am not just a writer, future author, but I'm also going to be doing book reviews. This was suggested to me by Stripped Covered Lit, so let's get started. Question 1. Why did you start this channel? I love books. I've always dreamed of being a book reviewer. I mean, as well as writing them, because I love books. Now, question 2. What are some fun, unique things you can bring to BookTube? I don't know if there's be anything unique that I can bring to BookTube, except for myself. I'm unique, and I want to believe that I'm fun. However, I do know that I'll probably bring a little bit things that are different when it comes to book reviews, when it comes to certain books, and my book choices might be different. However, like I said, overall, I'm unique, and I want to believe that I'm fun. So there you go. I'm bringing that to BookTube. Question 3. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I am excited because I am putting my two loves together, which is writing and reading, and putting them together and bringing them to many, as well as enjoying them for myself. So if nobody else wants to watch it, I'm watching it because I'm enjoying it. Question 4. Why do you love reading? I guess you can say because of my dad. He was big. He is big into reading. One time he wanted to write for newspapers. And that's actually how I got my start into loving reading, into loving reading. He would sit down every morning or afternoon, mostly morning, and he would read the newspaper. I think I told my age. He would read the newspaper right there in the dining room or the kitchen, and he would let me get on his lap, and he would have me practice some words, or either he would read some words to me. So that's actually where my love of reading came from, because you could take letters and create them into words, and these words each have meaning, and then these meanings can actually create a picture for you. So that's why I love reading. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? What book? That's a good question. What book? I would have to say, Goosebumps. And I know that's strange. I don't even like horror books or anything like that. But when I was a kid, I have a little brother, and he, or a younger brother, he's not little anymore. I would read a whole bunch of things while I was at school, so I can't remember anything off the top of my head, except for the book, The Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankenweiler. That's the only book that I can think of off the top of my head. That book was just crazy, and I loved it. Oh, also, that book, and also The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I remember my teacher read that to us, and I fell in love with it, and I just had to read the series. But mostly that really got me going off was Goosebumps. My brother loved Goosebumps, and I wanted to read and see what they were all about, and I read them, and I actually liked them, especially the ones where you get to choose. So Goosebumps, I guess. Question 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? Where do you find the time to read so many books? I am a big reader. I was a big reader before children. I was a big reader as a child, so I could understand that, having all the time in the world. And now as an adult, my question is, how do you find time to read? If you don't have children, how do you find time to read when you're working or anything? Question 7. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Back to the unique and fun aspect of it all. Bringing something new to the table, bringing something fun, and not only for your viewers, but as well for yourself, enjoying it, enjoying the reading, finding the time to read, and enjoying what you're reading so that you can share it with others. That's about it that I can think of off the top of my head. That would be the challenges, because I mean, we all have different tastes in books and reading. So there's that. I mean, some people are gonna like what I have and some people aren't going to be interested at all, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. But the hardest would be to actually keep it up. And what I mean by that is bringing something fun and unique as well as enjoying it. Because if I don't enjoy it, I'm not gonna want to do it, right? So that would be probably the hardest, because I love to read. It's just, like I said before, finding the time. And I'd hate to start reading a certain book or series and then not able to get back and do a review or have others participate in it. That would suck to me. That would really suck. Question 8. When did you start reading? I don't know how old I was. Like I said, back to the newspaper thing. I would have to say my dad started teaching me when I was maybe 5. Between 5 and 7. I was between that age group. I know when he started teaching me to read. I mean, I'm sure my teachers were teaching me then, but I know he was teaching me probably way before then. He always read a paper, and he was always making sure I sat up there with him. And then when it wasn't the paper, it was fairy tales, and he'd read the fairy tales to me over and over again to the point that I memorized them. But then he didn't want me to memorize the story. He wanted me to actually be able to recognize the words. So I would have to say between that age, maybe even 4. I know I was pretty young when he started teaching me. Question 9. Where do you read? The living room. Because the way that my house is set up, the living room is downstairs, and my children do not like running up and downstairs. They like being upstairs in their room to play. So that is the best place for me to read. Right now at this moment, the bed is the best place for me to be. Especially because my husband works late, so I get to read in the bed without somebody telling me to turn off the light. But mostly the living room. And question 10. What kind of books do you like to read? I love classics, classic books. I don't care. It can be romance. It can be history. Well, I mean, I guess majority of it will be history. It could be horror. It could be anything with the classics. Anything. And then we get to the contemporary, and the contemporary books I like are mystery and romance, of course. I do love fantasy to a certain extent. I don't like the high fantasy, I guess that's what they call it. I don't really care for that. That's just me. I don't care for it too much because I feel like it's just way too much. I also like, I guess you could say I do like horror books, because now that my mind is going, I read all of Stephen King's books. Don't like horror movies. Maybe that's what it is, because I can't actually see it in the blood and gore happening. That's probably why I can tolerate horror books better. So that's the type of books that I like. I'm hoping that I can also broaden myself out to read other types of genres, for my sake as well as for my viewer's sake. So thank you for, I guess, tuning in to watch me do the BookTuber Newbie Tag. And don't forget to subscribe, to comment, and share, and hit the notification button. Peace and love.